This one concept fundamentally changed my life. The concept of identity. Identity is the thoughts, concepts, and beliefs that you hold true to be about yourself. It's exactly like a thermostat for a room. So, in this room that I'm sitting in right now, it's set at 72 degrees. Have you ever known someone who had a great relationship and that relationship no longer exists? Or have you ever known someone who lost a bunch of weight and then gained it all back? This is exactly because of the concept of identity or a thermostat as the room that I'm sitting in. If amazing things start happening in your life and you have an incredible relationship, you're heating your thermostat up higher and higher and higher, but you don't upgrade your thermostat and change the setting to setting the thermostat at 80 degrees, you'll slowly but surely cool or heat your life to exactly what you believe you are worth. That's 72 degrees. There's also been times where the conditions were terrible. You never thought you were going to eat again. You were super sick. Well, guess what? You ate again. You heated your life back up to 72 degrees with what you believe you are worth and you're deeply convinced of. So how can we change this thermostat setting? How do we upgrade our identity to be an 80 degreer or a 90 degreer or a 100 degreer? I'll give you a few different ways, and they're very simple. The first one is the power of association. There's a reason that we know that our kids it's very important with who they spend their time with at school. We know that over time, those kids will see what their friends do and what their friends' families do, and they'll gravitate to try to fit in to that group. We are the exact same ways, and that's why it's super important with who you associate with. So over time, for me, in the ways that I've upgraded my identity are getting people out of my life that were taking my thermostat and pushing it down to a level that I didn't want it to be. So over time, I have been obsessed with getting people in my life that are at a higher thermostat level in different areas than I am. We actually have this in different areas. So you have one in your relationships, you have one in your fitness, you have one in your nutrition, you have one in your work life. We have a bunch of different thermostats, and one by one, you can change that and heat your life back up in different ways. The second point that I want to make is also very important, but it's exactly like a pool, the water line in a pool. So in a short window of time, if you can heat your life back up and change your diet completely, you can totally shift where your thermostat is, where your thermostat setting is. That's another way that's super powerful. For me, that was in nutrition and health. I completely altered my diet. I got rid of all the stuff that I was eating, and I totally bought a ton of new stuff and got on an entirely different plan, and it totally shifted my thermostat. The third way when you're creating a new identity is you can't take the old story and bring it in to the new identity or the new story that you're trying to tell yourself. How can you create a new identity while still being the person that you used to be? So for me, I was telling the same story to myself over and over and over again about a past relationship that I had been in. But once I recognized, which is super important, that I was telling myself that old story, I took that story and I got rid of it. I started flipping it to gratitude, and I said, why am I grateful for this person? And over time, because you can't get rid of the negative voice in your head, you can leverage that negative voice and tell yourself a new story. Change the story that you're telling yourself. So with these three simple ways, you can upgrade your identity, or like the thermostat that you're sitting in, or that I'm sitting in the room right now. I promise it's not that hard, but over time you can change the thermostat in each area of your life that you want to change.